All right. Good morning. Good morning. Wednesday, the day before Turkey Day, right? Day before Turkey Day, discipline capacity. So this might be a good time to be talking about discipline, right? The day before Thanksgiving, right? Maybe maybe you're on a diet, or maybe you're trying to let's not say diet. Let's say you're trying to behave around the holidays, and in the way that you fuel your body, you eat, right? So discipline, focus, and follow through. This may be the perfect time to do that, right? Remember, mind, body, and spirit, right? So back from the gym, got to work here shortly, but um, the discipline capacity, the difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing, according to John Maxwell, would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. The difference between what we are doing and what we are capable of doing. It's not John Maxwell, it's Mahatma Gandhi, right? So, why is there such a difference between what we do and what we're capable of doing? What would make up the difference and close the gap? So, it's not talent, right? We all have, we're all capable. We can do a lot with the talent that we already have. So, that's not the answer. Um, is it is it time? Do you need more time? Well, we each have the same amount of time allotted to us every day, right? So there's, only so many minutes in a day. Nobody gets more, nobody gets less, unless you're done, right? Then you get less. But John Maxwell says, after years of reflection, I think I know what could close the gap between what we do and we're capable of doing, and it's discipline, right? Um, you are the boss of you. Yesterday, it talked about, if you don't like what it is that you're doing in life, change it. If you don't like the direction that your life is going, change it. If you don't like where you work, change it. Whatever it is that you have the choice. You are the boss of you. Um, and so, uh, John Maxwell says successful people are highly disciplined in doing their most important work. They are self-disciplined, right? Self-disciplined. They guide and encourage themselves to do the work, not just the work that they ought to do, um, um, but the things that take them from average to good, right? And from good to great. Um, and he said, that's why the rewards in this world are usually reserved for those who are willing to do what the majority of people won't, right? Successful people do what successful people aren't willing to do. I tell people in the real estate business, whenever you're going to run into hurdles all the way, there's always going to be something between you and quote unquote ultimate success, right? But every single time you come to a stumbling block, a hurdle in your path, and you get over it, and I don't mean get over it like just forget about it, but you get past that hurdle, you eliminate a whole mess of your competition, because there are a lot of people out there doing what you're doing that aren't willing to to take that extra step, to go that extra mile, right? Who is it? I don't know who it is. The quote, I've heard it before: take the high road because it's less crowded. All right. So how do you grow your discipline capacity? Well, some people just sit and wait for their names to be called, but success doesn't come looking for us, right? Success doesn't come looking for us. We're not going to achieve great things accidentally. Everything, remember early on in the book, everything worthwhile is uphill, right? It is a struggle. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency and energy and commitment, right? Those are all things that success requires. And Grant Cardone says that one of the reasons that people fail is they fail to think about how much of each of those things it takes. If you think it's going to take X amount of dollars to get your business off the ground, um, 10 times that, right? If you think it's going to take this much time, 10 times that, effort, 10 times that, right? That's the premise behind his book 10x, right? But that's the reason that people fail, is they fail to take into consideration how much time, money, energy, commitment, discipline it's going to take, right? So what do you do to develop your discipline capacity? It's time for that list, right? Number one, know what's important, right? Know what is important. Um, just listen to Kurt Warner, Hall of Fame. I think he's Hall of Fame football player, Super Bowl, champion football player, quarterback. Um, talked about when he was um, talked about when he was playing football, and he was second string sitting on the bench, and he asked his friend. He had a good friend who was friends with the coach, who was got along real well with the coaches, and he asked his friend. He said, "Hey, ask him why I'm not playing. I'm better than this. I'm better than this guy. Ask him why I'm not playing." And he came back and told him. He said, "The reason you're not playing is because you don't work hard enough in practice. You don't put enough effort into it in practice." And he said, "Practice? It's not practice. It's about the game." And then he realized, in football, you play, 16, 18 games a year, and 95% of the time that you spend during your season is in practice. Right. And so you got to put the time in practice. Right. So know what's important. Right. And I don't just mean practice. I mean what's important to being successful. Right. If you got goals, what is the number one thing that is going to make the biggest difference in your business? Right. um, Number two, get rid of excuses. Right. If discipline is the highway that takes us where we want to go, then excuses are the exits off the highway. And there are tons and tons of excuses. Right. Um, um, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to start at the beginning of the year. I don't want to do it alone. My spouse won't do it with me. I'll do it when I finish school. I'll do it when the kids get out of school. I'll do it. I'll. Right. I'll do it after my birthday. I'll do it tomorrow. Right. I'm too tired. I don't know where. Excuses. At the gym I go to, on the wall it says it's okay to crawl. It's okay to cry. It's okay to puke. It's not okay to make excuses. Right. Number three, take action before you feel like it. You know what? You get up in the morning and you have to make phone calls. You have to knock on doors. You have to do all this stuff, but I don't feel like it. Do it anyway. Right? Do it anyway. Take action before you feel like it. Um, and in order to do that, right? Um, you have to have a couple of disciplines, right? So number one, how do you think about the consequences? What happens if I don't do this? Right? What are the consequences of not doing it? Right? If you don't feel like it, right? I don't feel like it. So think about this. What happens if I don't do it? Right? What happens if I focus on doing the right thing just for today? Right? Just for today. I'm gonna make, maybe in your plan, you need to make 10 phone calls. Well, you know what? I'm gonna make one. I'm making one call. I'll make one call today. I can do one. I can do 10. If I can do one, I can do two. If I can do two, I can do three. I can do 10. I'll just do it today. Right? If I don't feel like it tomorrow, maybe I won't do it tomorrow. Right? Um, Number three, make yourself accountable to somebody else in a weak area. Right? If um, if not doing something, if being held accountable, if somebody's going to be upset with you or whatever, be accountable to somebody. Right. Number four, don't let distractions distract you. Learn to say no. Right. Learn to say no. um, it's sometimes you just have to do that. Right. You can't say yes to everything. um, Somebody said, if the answer is not hell yes, right? If somebody asks you something, and asks you to do something, asks you to get involved in something, and the answer in your mind is not yes, hell yes, the answer is no. Right? The answer is no. And if it's a distraction, um, if it's going to get you distracted from what you're supposed to do, then um, don't, say no. Number five, be aware of time. Right? Be aware of time. Um, have you ever heard that, time gets away from us? Right? Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it does. Um, and and think about how much time, if you set a deadline for something, what happens? That the project will fill up whatever timeline you've given it. Right? If I've got until tomorrow to get this done, I'm probably not going to get it done until tomorrow at 11:59. Right? No, set yourself a closer deadline. Right? Get things done. Discipline disciplined use of your time. There is no such thing as time management. Time moves on no matter what. It's about self-management, right? Set those deadlines for yourself. And number 6, follow through even when it hurts, right? Even when it hurts. You know what? Um, John Maxwell says in his book, Put Your Dream to the Test, he said, the dream is free, but the journey isn't, right? It's going to take time and effort and money. And you cannot manage your life if you do not manage yourself, right? That's the bottom line here. You cannot manage your life if you cannot manage yourself, right? So his discipline capacity questions. I know I'm kind of rushed this morning. I got somewhere to be in 4 minutes. Number 1, self-discipline is where time and priorities meet, right? What would happen if you looked at your schedule and your to-do list every week and allotted specific amounts of time for everything? I've got this much time to meet with you, right? We're going to meet at 6 o'clock, and I've got 15 minutes allotted to you, right? If you don't show up till 6:05, we've got 10 minutes, right? If you don't show up till 6:15, we have no minutes, right? You get what you allow in your life, right? So how much time, if you allotted time for every single thing, how much time would that take? How much time would that save you, right? Number 2, what excuses have become a normal part of your life? I'm going to start that on Monday, right? I'm going to do it as soon as I feel like it, right? Write out a list of the excuses that you find yourself using and write a counter argument to each one of those. Number 3, what percentage of the time do you follow through? Do you follow through 100% of the time? 60% of the time? 50, 40, 20? None of the time? Um, when you don't follow through, when do you stop and why? And is there a pattern? And is there something that you could do to push through those times? So, discipline capacity, your discipline capacity, your choice to focus and follow through. That's it for today. Happy Turkey Day. We'll probably have an episode of Millionaire Mindset Book Club anyway, because I've got time to do that. And so hope to see you then. And we're going to finish this book up. We're going to finish this book up at the end of next week, and we will start fresh in December with The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Okay. Hope you have a great day. If you have different ideas about discipline capacity, whatever, I'd like to see your comments here in the comments section. All right, great. See you tomorrow.